Welcome, everyone, to the Week 16 series of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gale, alongside my partner, Jack McNicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you haven't had the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. This week is a great one. Not only do we got a game on Christmas Day, Friday, we got games on Saturday, my friend. We got three games on Saturday. We got one at 1, one at 4:30, and one at a nice 8:15 to cap off the night. Let's start right into this 1 o'clock game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading off to Detroit to face on the Lions. What you got for us, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to, it's just going to feel like Thanksgiving with the Lions playing. Just day after Christmas, you're going to have to feel like, the full belly is going to come the day before, the day before. Now you're going to have to rest it off with some good football, 3 in a row. But, man, Tom Brady going up against this Lions team, it's a huge favorable matchup. I mean, this Lions team, after firing Matt Patricia, we saw them against the Bears doing well. And, last week against Aaron Rodgers, it was a tough one. I think Brady may give them the same treatment this week.
Yeah, for anyone that didn't watch the games last week, Brady played the Falcons.
Yeah.
Brady was losing to the Falcons. Brady beat the Falcons. Okay, he had a comeback win last week. It was actually kind of scary and eerie back to the Super Bowl almost, and he's sitting on the sideline sulking. You're like, okay, when is he going to come back? And he did that. I feel bad for the Lions. They didn't get to play Rodgers last week. They had to play Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
who put up 22 points in the fourth quarter against them. They kept this game close-ish. 24-15 around the half, and then the Titans just blew out the rest of the game. I feel bad for the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, right. You get those guys though, Rodgers, and then Tannehill the way he's playing, then Brady. How are you feeling about these Lions this week? Is there any hope?
This is not the Lions' upcoming game. This was just this like little stretch of games is super duper tough this late in the year.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay knows what's going on in terms of what they need to do to get into the playoffs right now. They don't have a chance to win the NFC South, even if they win all their games and the Saints lose all their games. Sadly, just won't happen for them.
Yeah,
so they know they gotta win the rest of their games. They're sitting at the 6th seed. That feels like they should somehow be higher with all the talent that they have, and they're not. But this defense is great. This offense is great. I'm gonna trust the Buccaneers against a very, very beatable Lions team.
Yeah, I mean, and Matthew Stafford's playing well. He's always just, he's a veteran quarterback in good situations. But if there's anybody in
he'll put up
any
points.
situations, I mean, I expect the Lions to have, some high scores. They're at home, but Ronald Jones is back this week, and we saw what Leonard Fournette's able to do in this offense when he's thrust into that role. I expect obviously Ronald Jones to take his place, but. I'm looking for this, as you mentioned, this Tampa offense, this Tampa defense. It's a very balanced team right now. They have a playoff push. It's tough to pick the Lions in this one with Brady really understanding where he is in Week 16.
Yeah, absolutely. One question, though. More rushing yards, Ronald Jones, DeAndre Swift.
I would go with DeAndre Swift on that one. I love the way that he's been getting the ball, just the scheme that they've been using around him. There's this outside zone. They're giving him the ball in the passing game. I'm loving DeAndre Swift right now. With Ronald Jones coming back with that finger injury, I'm looking for him to maybe get limited touches. They have a couple of guys in the Tampa Bay backfield, but I'm going to go with Swift this week.
I like it. He's having a good rookie campaign, especially coming in later on in the season. Didn't start out super hot, but it's really, really been putting together a second half campaign that's been really, really solid, despite being injured with a concussion and having an illness just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Moving on. NFC West showdown in the afternoon, late afternoon. San Francisco 49ers heading off to Arizona. Well, they're not really heading off there. They actually are sharing the stadium, I realize, but staying in Arizona to face the Cardinals home game now. Sorry, that was super wordy, everyone. What you got for us in that one, Jack?
Oh my God! I mean, I'm hoping that Kyler Murray has a good game. This Niners defense has with games over the season. We've talked about them being injury prone with all of the injuries with Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas in the beginning, but they really have stepped up. It has really been a next man up mentality, and I think they're going to have to take it this week. This is a divisional game. They are familiar with the Cardinals. But I'm expecting a lot from two receivers in this game, DeAndre Hopkins and Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I mean those two, DeAndre Hopkins, all world. Feel like I say it every single week. Anything can happen. And Brandon Ayuk has really. We're talking about Swift's second half of the season stepping up. Brandon Ayuk has come on since his injury. He's been doing fantastic. I got to highlight a different pass catch though. George Kittle is back.
He's back. The Joker is back.
He is back, and he's playing in Week 16. That is what they are saying. That's what the reports are in. That's great for Cj Bethard because Cj Bethard will constantly look his way. I do expect Kittle to have a big first game back, believe it or not, up against a Cardinals team. He always tears apart the Cardinals too.
Yeah.
So I expect the history to continue of him tearing it up. They also, San Francisco, just signed Josh Rosen to their practice squad. Just want everyone just to notice that. Don't be surprised if Cj Bethard turns the ball over too many times that you don't see the former first-round pick in Josh Rosen stepping into the role this weekend. Would be kind of funny to see that, but what you got for us, though, about who you taking in this one?
I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Cardinals at home. I think that they understand, like we were talking about with the Vikings in the last episode, just the fact that there's a playoff push in the NFC right now. It is very, very tight-knit. And the Cardinals, they are just sitting there at the 7th seed. They understand that they are one loss away from being on the bubble. This San Francisco team is familiar with them. They're at home. So is San Francisco technically, like you said. But, I think that this Cardinals defense, they're middle of the pack in almost everything, but they really do get it done in big divisional games.
I will take the 49ers to defer from you. They have a solid defense, 5th in total yards, 4th in pass, 7th in rush, 17th in points. A little weird to see so high in the other statistics and then so low in giving up points.
Yeah.
I think what's going to really happen here is that the Cardinals got the best of them earlier this year in Week 1. I just feel like Cj Bethard, you don't expect him to do well.
Yeah.
But he's just going to kind of show up in this game. It's going to be one of those games where they'll put together the right scheme. There's going to be no Raheem Mostert. I expect Tevin Coleman, Jeff Wilson, Jared McKinnon, all these guys to get a lot of carries and a lot of looks. And I really do expect like a lot of dump passes off to the running backs to pick up big yard plays here and there. I'll take the 49ers and trust what that defense can do. It might be hard to pass against Richard Sherman facing DeAndre Hopkins. You never know. It's still Richard Sherman.
Yeah,
Gotta give him credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Moving on, 8:00 game. This is an interesting one. Miami Dolphins heading to Vegas to face the Raiders. Raiders just lost a tough one in OT last week to the Chargers. What do you got for us?
The Raiders right now sitting at the 9th seed, and we got 7 teams looking to make the playoffs in the AFC, and the Miami Dolphins sitting right there at the 7th seed at the end. These teams have a lot to play for. The Miami Dolphins are going up against the Bills next week. They understand that this game right now would help them get in. They're not going to win the division, but they are going to Sin City to try to prove themselves right now.
Look, I'm going to take the Dolphins. I'm just going to say it right now. Darren Waller is an animal. Darren Waller needs a big contract.
Yeah.
He's this year, with the exception of Travis Kelce, he is give him a bigger one. Give him another one. With the exception of Travis Kelce, he is the best tight end right now in Week 16 of 2020 in all of football. And as great as that is, whether it's Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota, I don't know if we can trust either one of them against a really, really good defense. This is the number 1 turnover defense. This is the number 1 lowest scoring defense. They do not give up points easily. They're only letting up, I'm seeing here, 18.4 points per game. That's barely 3 scores.
Yep.
That is fantastic. They just picked off Mahomes a couple weeks ago with 3 interceptions. I just feel like they're hungry. I don't think that the receiving core outside of Waller is good enough to evade these cornerbacks and Xavier Howard and Byron Jones. Even the speedster Ruggs, even the great deep threat Aguilar. I just don't think it's enough. And if Carr's back in, is it going to be a 3-touchdown Carr? Is it going to be a 3-turnover Carr? Are you healthy, Derek Carr? We just saw a brutal groin injury. It's too many question marks surrounding this. Even if Marcus Mariota is in, and I liked what he did last week, he didn't even do enough last week. I don't think he can do enough this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually defer from you. I loved what I saw from Marcus Mariota this week. I personally am a big Marcus Mariota fan. I like what they do at home, these Raiders. But, you mentioned Xavier Howard. He's going to be a tough matchup for, Aguilar, Ruggs. But Darren Waller, I trust him a lot. He's one of those tight ends that Marcus Mariota should be able to just enjoy being able to throw to a security blanket like him. And what I really want to see out of this Miami offense on the other side is some scoring. I want to see them be able to keep up. We saw Mariota get it done on the ground the other day, find different weapons. He's a veteran at this point, and this could be an interesting one against a rookie quarterback in Tua. So I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders in Vegas.
I trust Tua time. I just want to point out one thing. 8 games, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's playing clean football. He looks through all of his receiving options throughout the play. I really like Tua. We talked about it a little bit last season. They're tanking for Tua. If they tanked for Tua, they did a great job because last year they won 6 games. Now they've won 9. So, yep. Got one question for you. Mike Gesicki's healthy. He was limited in practice on Wednesday. I believe he was limited today. More receiving yards, Mike Gesicki or Darren Waller?
As somebody heavily invested in Darren Waller this year, and Mariota is great with the short passes, I'm gonna go with Darren Waller. I love what he's doing this year. I think he's an absolute beast. I think that, as you mentioned, Travis Kelce, all-world tight end, but man, I mean, Darren Waller, this is a guy that can get you over 100 yards a game. We saw what he was able to do over the last couple of weeks, getting over 150, and I'm very excited to see what he does with the Raiders in the future, especially this week with Mariota. I think it's favorable. They're at home. I'm looking for that Ruggs Howard big, thing. But Mike Gesicki, he's a fantastic tight end. This year he has really proven himself to be just an absolute fantastic talent. He's a reliable target in the end zone, and he can make a big play. So don't count him out.
I definitely agree with you. I think Waller's going to get the more yards. I think it's going to be one of those games where Waller gets more yards, but Gesicki is going to have like 2 touchdowns. He is just absolute blanket for Tua. And prior to his injury, where he got hurt against the Chiefs, he was on a 3-game scoring streak against the Jets, against Cincy, and against Kansas City. And against Kansas City, he had 2. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if he gets like 2 or 3 in this game, but Waller still gets like 130 yards like he did last week up against the Chargers. So I think you're absolutely right. You got to trust what Waller can do with the deep ball. And we saw last week when he scored that touchdown up against the Chargers, Mariota hit him perfectly on the deep ball. That was a really, really well thrown ball. I hopefully they dial up that more a little bit, and I hope this is a high scoring game. That's all you can really ask for.
But the biggest deep ball of the day was Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I mean that kid. Why Oregon didn't pass the ball deep more with him still makes
little battle of Oregon quarterbacks without knowing it last week. But
I never made that connection until right now. That really, really was the battle of Oregon quarterbacks. Good eye there. Way to pay attention.
I also disagree with that.
Look, that is all the time that we had. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for listening. Have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you. And always check us out this whole weekend. Big championship fantasy weekend. Check us out for all your game picks. JustSayingFootball.com. Just Saying No GWJS on Instagram, and Just Saying Football YouTube channel. Check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you.